Welcome back, everyone. This is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, here with another hero breakdown video. And despite being an infantry main myself, I do recognize that not everyone feels the same way I do, and you may want to run riders instead of infantry. And thought it would be best to talk about one of the best rider commanders in the game. And you'll see why once I start talking about her skills. And we'll break this down in our usual fashion. We'll talk about her skills first, different ways you're going to see her used in combat, a good talent build for her to the best of my ability as an infantry main, and different pairs you can use in combat to get the most out of her. And without further ado, let's get into it. Skill number 1 deals direct damage to a target squad up to 12,000 and has a 50% chance to increase the enemy's damage taken by 15% for 3 seconds. This is pretty massive. Not only does she have one of the higher skill damage factors in the game, 12,000, having that increased damage dealt from this skill makes her a lead commander automatically. This one skill alone means you should be running her as the lead commander for whatever pairing you decide to do. You want that additional 15% to work in your favor for the secondary commander's skill damage, whoever you decide to pick. So keep that in mind. That does actually get better with her awakened skill. We'll get into that later. Skill number 2. When not in battle, rider squad travel speed increases by up to 30%, gains 50 rage up to 150, but travel speed will be reduced by 10% for 3 seconds when taking skill damage. This makes her a hunter. In the open field, she is designed to hunt down weaker enemies and kill them quickly, using additional rage to get to that first skill sooner. There's another skill that makes her a hunter even more so later on down the line, but just know that she is designed to catch up to enemies that are running away, kill them, and move on. If for some reason your enemy is slightly faster than you when you're in combat, if they break that combat and you catch back up to them, you will get that additional rage again for entering battle because it is a new battle. So keep that in mind. Even if they do manage to get away for a little bit, if you catch back up, you get more rage, get your first skill off again, do a lot more damage. Skill number 3 increases rider squad attack by 30% and deals 24% more damage to squads with a shield effect. This makes her a direct counter to Raigoro specifically, which I'm upset about, and garrisons in general. Raigoro, if you've seen my breakdown video for him, sets up a shield every time his active skill goes off. So she's going to get additional damage just when he has that shield up, so she can break it faster. The other way that shields come up is from the garrison tree being maxed out. Part of me doesn't like running this on my garrison team because of that. Because if Bella comes up, she's just going to smash your face in. 10% chance to gain a shield that absorbs damage up to 1500, if I remember correctly, when attacked. And 1500 is nothing for Bella to break down. It's just not. Having the increased damage to bring it down faster is just icing on the cake at that point. So, Bella designed to break Raigoro and specifically Raigoro garrisons. And due to Thunder not being out at the time, this made her extremely powerful as a rally captain. Here's her other hunter skill. When leading only rider squads, damage increases by 15%. Like, you needed another increase to damage? I don't get why you needed another increase to damage. You've already gotten 3 now. and increases damage dealt to target squad by up to 12% when remaining squad size is less than 30%. Two main points that this happens. One, when an enemy has been left on the field longer than it should have been. So, great for hunting down weak enemies on the field and killing them quickly, especially if they've left like a Lee, a Jaden, an Alex, a debuffer, or a buffer on the field that you can finish out quickly. The other way that it happens is in garrisons. If you've noticed that the bar for garrisons gets down into the red even though it's still maxed out, note that the squad size being less than 30% there still is still in effect. Like I brought up with the defense tree on multiple of my other hero breakdowns, during garrisons, your squad will likely get down below 30% fairly quickly. But any effects that trigger from that, beneficial or otherwise, will stay in effect even if the garrison is completely full, because your squad is at less than 30%. So she's going to increase her damage the second it gets weaker and keep that damage throughout the rest of the fight, likely winning it for her. And as if she didn't need another buff, increases her damage to 13,000 and removes the 50% chance. So every time her active skill goes off, it will increase the target's damage taken by 20% for 3 seconds. So she's increasing damage on her end and increasing the target damage taken on their end multiple times throughout this battle. It is ridiculous the amount of buffs that she gets. Now, two main ways, if you've been listening through this video, that she's used in combat are as a hunter to bring down ranged squads or weak rider squads that anyone has decided to leave on the field. It's an easy point click to watch her just demolish whatever happens to be out on the field that shouldn't still be out there. She also is still one of the strongest rally commanders in the game. Bella is still one of the most common and powerful because of this increased damage for shield effects. All of the different damage buffs that she gets and the debuff she puts on the enemy allows her to make that initial punch against a tower or a shelter or whatever you happen to be attacking. And then that 20% increase in damage being used by a swarm of enemies around the tower or shelter just compounds the devastation that she causes. So, if you're a rider commander, you should be focusing on Bella as soon as she opens. Now, talent build. You're gonna want her rage. You want that damage debuff to be in effect as much as possible. Get to Raging Fire, get to Unstoppable Fury, pick up the additional rage for maxing out the skill tree. You're gonna want it no matter what way you try to run her. So definitely max out the skill tree. The rest of your points should be put into getting Unstoppable Fury and boosting her attack power as much as possible. The rear attack will help her increase her damage to rage squads, which affects her hunting ability. Coming down here, reducing the target's attack, kind of pointless. If you kill your enemy fast enough, you don't need to weaken their attack power. Increasing your travel speed can be effective when trying to hunt them down. reducing skill damage taken, again, boosting your own defense isn't going to be as nearly as effective as boosting your own attack power. So try and get as many of those rider squad attack buffs that you can, and increasing her speed. Now, as far as pairs, there's really only 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. You're not going to want to pair her with anyone that's not going to give a good rider buff. First one you'll start out with, if you don't already have Sven, is Catherine. Catherine has a really impressive skill damage factor. She has great rage generation to make her go a bit faster, has the rider travel speed, and a decent rider squad attack buff. So just adds on to what Bella is already good at, especially in the open field. This is a good open field option for her. And you'll come down to a commander that I don't have because I didn't invest in top commander for this one. Sven is your option if you decide to use her as a rally commander. He's got great siege abilities for reducing damage taken to himself if an enemy decides to use a high skill damage commander on garrison, like Lewis. You'll see those a lot. The additional damage here to garrison squads being 1100 at 20% chance will pop off quite a bit. It's basically an extra attack at that level. And he's got a decent rider squad attack bonus himself. Plus, 12,000 damage with his skill is impressive. So you've got a good rally commander here, a good field commander in Catherine, and then you have a good one for both here in Elena. Now, she comes quite a bit later than Bella does, but currently, I believe Bella Elena is the absolute strongest rider team you can make right now. With having some of the highest single target skill damage in the game, Elena's skills being focused on flanking, but not specifically requiring her to be the flanker. She can be the primary target, means that she's going to get this damage off even on towers if they're being swarmed. Huge increases to damage and rider squad attack throughout her skill tree. An insane 53% increase to basic attack damage here. Bella Elena is just absolutely nuts as far as rider squads go. And with that, that is my full breakdown of Bella and everywhere you can use her. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Just know I am an infantry main, so I do not personally use her, but I have tested her a little bit as far as her damage increase goes, and I have looked into quite a few reports from other people who have used her. So please ask questions. If I got something wrong, please let me know. I will correct it. And with that, this is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing off.